Hola, vamos a aprender sobre lección 2, pronombres, preposiciones y transiciones. So this is going to be a fairly short lesson on a couple things. So first off, I want to touch on pronouns and prepositions. So prepositional phrases work very similar to English, and we've actually been doing them for a good chunk of Spanish 1, even. If the object is a pronoun, you'd use prepositional pronouns. So those would be the mi, ti, usted, ella chart that we use for clarification. And really not a whole lot to touch on that, but there are a few special situations. If we have con and me, so with me, that will be changed into a special construction conmigo. So Rachel has dinner with me, Rachel cena conmigo. Or con and ti, with you, informal and singular, would be contigo. So I can go with you, puedo ir contigo. Also, entre, we'll use tú and yo, subject pronouns, instead of ti and mi, the prepositional pronouns. So dad sits between you and me. Papá se sienta entre tú y yo. So entre does not use the prepositional pronouns. It uses those subject pronouns. It's just kind of a weird deal. Just kind of be aware of that. And then also I want to touch on a couple of transitions. So there are many transitional words and phrases in Spanish, and we even use quite a few. We've got a handful in our vocab this unit, but I want to look at two in particular that could use a little bit of clarification. Antes and después. So often these will occur with a day after the antes or the después, unless they're used kind of in isolation. But if they have working with a noun or a verb, an activity, they're going to have a day after them. So for example, before showering, I wash my face. Antes de ducharme, me lavo la cara. So there you've got the day between antes and ducharme. After he has dinner, the man brushes his teeth. Después de cenar, el hombre se cepilla los dientes. Now, one thing to notice here, when used with an activity, a verb, the activity is left as an infinitive verb, even if we have to take out some other parts there. So you see there, after he has dinner, the he there didn't translate. We just go straight to the activity left as an infinitive. Before showering, antes de ducharme, that is a reflexive verb. The reflexive part has to match with the person involved in the sentence. And when they're in this kind of construction, they are an infinitive. The only place, because it doesn't have a conjugated verb in that part of the sentence, you will end up always attaching the infinitive or the reflexive pronoun to that infinitive. However, do note that these two words are used in a variety of different ways, sometimes with slight tweaks of meaning, sometimes used transitionally by themselves, like después, like next almost. But just be aware of their general meaning and realize that when with another noun or verb, typically they'll be accompanied with that de as seen above. Most of the time I found if you're aware that they mean before and after, if they are used slightly differently, usually you can pick up on the general gist of what it's meaning. That's it. El fin.